Hey booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. Oh my goodness, we're almost to the end of my 5-year anniversary on booktube celebration videos. So tomorrow will be a Friday Reads video, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed the other videos as well. And today I'm here to talk about the 5 best reading experiences I've had since joining booktube. Now, I went through my Goodreads account, which is listed down below, so you can always check that out. But I went through and looked at all of the books that I had given 5 stars to since I joined booktube, and I mean I had to like sift through and really decide like which were like the best experiences, which were things that were made better by the fact that I got to talk to you guys about them, or yeah, or I read one of them with you, that kind of thing. So I just want to preface this by saying, like, I specifically did not include anything I had already read, hence the absence of Jane Austen. I did not include any Shakespeare. I feel like we've already talked about Shakespeare this week, so I'm just gonna let that one go. So I didn't include Shakespeare. These are just novels. I just went off the books that I felt like were the best reading experience, regardless of who wrote them, and regardless of the author and that sort of thing. So now, if you have been watching my channel for a while, you could probably pause the video right now and take a guess at what you think the 5 best reading experiences that I've had since joining booktube are, because these are books that I spent a long time talking to all of you about, or I made review videos of, or both. So with the exception of one of them's very slim, but also perfect. So I also, like I said, I made a video earlier this week about, you know, authors, books I wouldn't have read had it not been for booktube. And so even though like some of those, I mean, A Month in the Country, God, that's such a great book. That could have been on this list easily. Definitely give it 5 stars, but I've already talked about it this week, so I wanted to talk about some different books. So the first one, and again, if you've been watching my channel this year, even just this year, I read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. This is the translation by Julie Rose. I loved this book. I am so sad that Victor Hugo did not write a whole bunch more chunky, epic, sweeping books to read. So I look forward to reading The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but nothing is quite like Les Miserables. It is, I can't even think of any novels really to compare it to. It's just so phenomenal. All right, the next one, and of course, because it's me, like, so even though it's supposed to be only 5, like, I cheated a little bit. This is a trilogy of books. It's called the Plain Song Trilogy by Kent Harif. So there's Plain Song, Eventide, and Benediction, and I gave all 3 of these books 5 stars. I feel like pretty early on in the life of my channel, I read Plain Song, and I think that was the best book of the year that I read it in. I can't remember which year it was. So yeah, and Eventide is my favorite of the 3, and I think Jason actually loves Benediction. I mean, I can't remember if he's read the other 2 books or not, but Kent Harif I actually met quite a while ago. He's no longer with us, but I was very sad that I didn't read this sooner. Yeah, there's the signed page. So anyway, wonderful books. Again, I don't think you need to read them in order. They are all set in the same town in Colorado, but the characters are different in each of these books. So, all right, the next one, I really thought about talking about this author on authors I might not have discovered had it not been for BookTube. I'm not sure. So he would have been like maybe an honorable mention in that, which is James Baldwin. I heard so many people talking about Go Tell It on the Mountain, and so I read it and I just loved it. And then I got Giovanni's Room, and oh my gosh, like, and this is a tiny little book, and it is such a devastating love story. I mean, yeah, it is a fantastic book. If you haven't read this, I recommend all of these books, but there's something just really special about Giovanni's Room. And no, it's not just because it's in Paris. but yeah, I loved this book, and I look forward to rereading it in the future. Now, the last two books on my list are buddy reads. So the first one is Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens, which I did as a buddy read with Joe Smith for March of the Mammoths. Joe and I have read so much Dickens together, which has just been absolutely wonderful. I wish Joe had a channel. I know she's never gonna have a channel. It's okay, Joe. but she is the queen of buddy reads. I don't know anybody who does as many buddy reads as Joe Smith. So, yeah, but there was something, I mean, like, we've enjoyed all the Dickens that we've read, I think, but there was something about Dombey and Son that was just special. I feel like it's a really underappreciated Dickens novel. So, yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just a wonderful, wonderful read together. So the last book, now again, I think I already owned this book maybe when, prior to starting my BookTube channel. And it's because of who's on the cover, right? But this is Parade's End by Ford Madox Ford. Again, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll remember a lot of videos where this book is in the thumbnail. So I read this with Allie at Fox Folios. Again, a booktuber who doesn't have a channel. This was one of the most incredible reading experiences of my entire life. What Ford Madox Ford achieves in this, like, it's one of those things, like, I just don't really know. I don't really know how he did it. Which is how I feel a lot of times about my favorite books, like Bleak House. I don't understand how Charles Dickens was able to write that book. But reading it with Allie was so wonderful, because I think there is so much that I would have missed, that I would not have understood, like, what Ford Madox Ford was trying to do in the book without her. Like, she really, really helped me and guided me along, and so I am extremely, extremely grateful to Allie for helping me with that. So, yeah, but anyway, so what have been the best books that you have read as a result of BookTube, or the best books you've read in the last 5 years, whether you've been part of BookTube that long or not? I would love to know. What do you think of my list? Did you guess correctly? So, all right, BookTube, I will be back tomorrow with another video. But in the meantime, remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.